Okay, so this artist book is titled Dave's Stories, which are a collection of stories told by a gentleman by the name of Dave Whitman, who lives in Chicago. Inside the booklet, we have a track listing of all the stories themselves, as well as a CD-ROM that entails the audio. The audio itself is recorded on tape, which is really nice given the fact that with these handheld tape devices, you essentially not only hear the story itself as well as the soundscape in the background, but also you hear the machining aspect of a mini cassette player, which is kind of adds a nice warm tone to the recordings, specifically on this one. The booklet also comes with this letter from Dave, and the letter starts, "Hi, this is Dave of Dave's Stories. I'll be over in a couple of days to sleep on your couch. Thanks for the invitation." And that alone says the sense of humor Dave Whitman has telling these stories. The nice thing about the letter that accompanies the audio is that it feels like a transcription, meaning that it feels like that he said it first and then wrote it down. And that really is a nice complementary aspect of this artist book. Some of the tracks that I really like are, say, number 7, Borders, A Place to Be Strange. Dave Whitman is actually, or was, a homeless man who was living in downtown Chicago. And some of these stories are just random thoughts that he has while he's walking around downtown Chicago, as well as ordeals that in which he is encountering public places like you and I would, but having very much different encounters with those places. One of them being Borders. Borders was a chain of bookstores here in Chicago, or I think in the United States. And the Borders he's speaking of, I've actually been to. Once I had arrived in Chicago, it was one of the first places I went. And that place of connection in the stories to me, the listener, is a really nice aspect in which you connect with Dave more so because you've been to that place. And overall, it creates this Chicago soundscape of the sounds that you hear on the streets, as well as the thoughts that he has. Some of them are more humorous thoughts of him observing something or someone, or himself, such as one instant, him realizing he can't sit down in Borders. He could visit, but he can't sit down in Borders, not necessarily for the sake of being not wanted, but if he sits down, he falls asleep in Borders, and there's an anecdote that he comes in with these stories, and that's really nice. If you have the chance, I would recommend looking for this online. I actually encountered this during graduate school, and someone informed me of it, and I was able to find a link for it. So at least some of the excerpts are online. So that is Dave's Stories by Dave Whitman. And yeah, this is a wonderful book that Joan Flasch has.